which is the heart of German industry. Yeah. He went there and to find that the mastermind of this entire plan was bees. Because
Bees?
apparently, when all the bees in the world coalesce, they become a super intelligent entity.
What about the dinosaur?
And they've seen, yes, and they've been, yes. Let's see. What was it? A super intelligent swarm of bees who decided that humanity was not worth living, was ruining their planet, and they wanted to return to simpler times. Dinosaurs.
And when they,
yes.
and when they join together, they form the cerebral cortex.
For instance, yes. Now,
that is how they fly in a brain.
Yes,
brain.
indeed.
I like
it. So yes, and
they call themselves the hive mind, of course.
Of course. Well, they
Mind.
call themselves us, but yeah, hive mind sounds better.
Let's just say Dr.
describing
Stoltz
it
calls
to
them the
others.
hive mind, because they need a cool name,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes. So yes, well, he tried to fight the hive mind head on, which ended terribly. Which ended terribly since cyber dinosaurs. So he designed a clever plan, attached and perverted a few of the prismatic pylons to resonate in such a way that it made such a terrible ruckus that the hive mind fled in terror all over the world. It didn't kill the hive mind. It just dispersed into tiny little bees.
Oh no, they will be back.
Next up, kill all the bees.
All the bees! Don't you see?
Yes.
We have to kill all the bees in the entire world or we're doomed! Okay, he's lost it. In any case,
Yes.
the invasion of the prismatic pylons is cool, but you have to like put your name into it somewhere. So is it either Dr. Stoltz and the invasion of the prismatic pylons, or Soren Stoltz? I don't know what you want to be called, Doctor or just your regular name.
Dr. Stoltz.
Okay, so it's Dr. Stoltz and the invasion of the prismatic pylons, right? Or Dr.
Yes,
Stoltz in the invasion of the prismatic pylons. Which do you prefer?
In.
Okay, in. And I'll
Yes.
put 3 points behind in. So, for dramatic effect. In the invasion of the prismatic pylons.
In
Da-da-da-dum.
invasion of the prismatic pylons.
Yep. Where's my dramatic music? Oh, here it is.
We can do it better than the dramatic music.
Yeah, dramatic music.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, we
aspects.
need to recap that somehow.
Okay. Yes.
Dr. Stoltz
Prismatic
discovers
pylons.
the pylons. So, Stoltz?
The secret behind the prismatic pylons, harmonized links.
Actually, Dawo, can't you just go on? Can't you just go on the Google Drive and do it yourself? Because this is a complicated story.
I'd love to, however, I don't find the document which is being edited.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Everybody else besides Spulfilm can find it. No,
Sorry, you're breaking up for me.
If you go on the Spirit of the Century folder and there's another folder called
Yes.
Character Creation, and there's documents with your name on it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and
Character
you're supposed to be
creation.
able to edit them. Oh, oops. Also,
Okay, Chrome
for
is
the
not
rest,
working for me for a moment.
this may have sounded like a
There we go.
ridiculous story, but it actually suits in the spirit of pulp. It's suitable. Although it's a little complicated. But I like
Well,
it.
He is a cerebral character, a cerebral superhero, so yeah. Besides, bees!
Yeah. Peace.
Not the bees!
Ah! Bees, my
Kill
god.
all the bees.
Really? Will that be one of his aspects? Bees! Can be.
Well, that could be there.
Ooh, I know a good aspect. Far-fetched
The bees are behind
solutions.
Yes.
That you come up with
Far-fetched
far-fetched
solutions.
solutions for problems. Far-fetched solutions. And I like the sound of it. That you come up with unnecessarily complicated plans all the time.
Crazy plans work. Okay. Far-fetched solutions.
That's why I mainly want you to write down a short version of
let's
your
see.
story if you can.
Yes, I will. I just need to figure out the second aspect, and I'm thinking something like...
Bees, my god.
Did I have that?
Bees, they'll kill us all! Written in capitals.
I'm allergic to bees.
Second aspect will stop
I'm
the
not
bees,
sure.
something like that.
My allergies. No.
Because that's mainly what I remember. The thing about that he comes up with like a far-fetched solution and that he fights bees. My god, bees.
This in this particular scenario, in this particular story, also the aspect science solves everything fits very nicely. I'm just
But we already got solutions in there.
okay.
So either far-fetched solutions or science solves everything. I think you need to choose.
Yeah, well,
'Cause
never
they're
mind.
too
Then I'll go
similar
for
otherwise.
far-fetched solutions.
Okay. Far-fetched scientific
it's
solutions?
Yes.
Or far-fetched
Also,
solutions,
I-
with science!
We'll take the last one.
With
True
Science.
science.
Sorry, I wrote it wrong.
Yes, you wrote it wrong. It's supposed to be in all capitals.
I
Ooh,
wrote
and
it
with
wrong. Sorry.
2 exclamation marks, of course.
Also, of course. Also, I just realized I like the aspect insane insight.
Insane in the membrane.
Yes, indeed.
Why not just insane in the membrane?
Because who else would suspect? Because it does not have a positive.
Okay.
Yes,
Slightly
I like
mad.
insane insight. Just a tad. Insane insight. Spelled wrong.
Oh, insight. I thought you said inside.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Cool.
Yes. Excellent.
So, you discover strange prismatic
I need to
pylons.
put action in my action scientist. Yes. I'll write down the story as the others.
Yeah, from how you
Make
describe
their
him, he
novel.
sounds more like a scientist and less like an action scientist.
Yeah, I should put some more action in it.
Action! Punching things.
Yes. Okay.
Two-fisted science.
Let's see. Insight. Yes, indeed, something like that.
We could still put the insane
healthy
insight
mind and a
into
healthy
one of your guest appearances or something when you suddenly arrive and say something crazy or something.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Two-fisted
indeed.
science,
I
why
like
not?
it. Put in that.
Or just action science. In capital letters.
come
Wow, there's way
on.
too much science
yes.
in all your aspects. Slightly obsessed.
It is my strategy. I have a strategy. Okay. How about science won't save you if you can't run?
That doesn't really say
Let's see.
That doesn't really say that you're two-fisted or an action guy. When science fails, hit it!
Yeah, that is a good one. Or about no time for deliberations, it's time for action.
Or that would be a funny thing if
American component.
Ooh. Yes, we need action now.
No. I've got one, guys. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is how we do it in Russia when we don't want to be on space station no more. Armageddon.
No thanks.
The movie Armageddon. Come on.
Yeah.
No. What?
Anyway,
American
Dallin,
component,
aspect?
Russian component, all made in Taiwan.
I
What'd you
thought
say,
it maybe
Ramses?
would be funny that he's kind of a sore loser, and that when his scientific explanation, when his scientific solutions don't work, he just starts, rampaging or something. Like that he's a sore loser. I think that would be funny.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily need to be an
maybe.
aspect, but it might be a fun character quirk that he's a sore loser. He always wants to be right.
Made a note. Let's see. Second aspect. When in doubt. No. When science fails, hit it.
Yeah. Sounds good.
If
I'll write
science
it down.
fails. You do write it down. Then I'll go write the pylons.
I like when better. When science fails, hit it.
Can just imagine him going, this device is not working. Whack it with a hammer. It does now.
Actually, there is a stunt called Thump of Restoration. That you literally can fix things by hitting them.
Reminds me of a game I once played in which there were gremlins as a player able race, and their magical stick was machinery. And of course, there was a problem that the more the gremlin cursed, the less the machine worked. So yeah.
Okay, but you maybe should take a
that
look
went
at
off
that
to a-
restorative thump.
Making note.
Okay, but cool. We've done
Correct.
your story now. On to the next one. We still got 3 to go. Who's next?
I'll go mute myself.
Well, I have some things still about my character's history I would like to talk about. I'm not sure if this is in the spirit of the whole things with. It isn't, then let's forget about it. But Ferdinand believes in the stab in the back myth, that is, that the German army did not lose World War I, but was instead betrayed by the civilians on the home front, especially the Republicans who overthrew the monarchy and denounced the German government leaders who signed the armistice on November 11th, 1918 as the November criminals. Especially he resents the war guilt clause, aka Article 231 of the Treaty of Versailles. That would be a bit historical. So.
Yes, but it's I can see how he does those things, but that's not really an adventure now, is it?
Not an adventure, but I was talking about his history, sort of.
Oh, okay. Do you have an idea for, like, let's say his story, his premiere story, where he comes out as a hero in his own right?
Well,
if not, I have a ton of ideas. Just saying.
Other things, of course, are that after Nietzsche mysteriously vanished or whatever happened to him, Ferdinand began traveling and went to China, where he learned martial arts and to other places of the West.
Spufnum?
Yes?
You're not 100% certain what happened to Nietzsche, but Nietzsche talked a lot about something he called the Society of Secrets. We talked about this, right? And that, basically they were out to get him, and that you too should watch out for them. So let's say your character assumes he was killed by the Society of Secrets, but he doesn't have any concrete proof.
Maybe something about maybe trying to figure out what happened to Nietzsche. Maybe that could be what.
Oh, that's a good idea. For some reason, he looking for basically just on his hunt to find out who was behind the killing of his master. It for some reason takes him to China. And that's also where he learns how to do kung fu and what have you.
Yes.
That could be an adventure in its own right.
Indeed.
We could just call it, if I don't find any better ideas at this, like Ferdinand Faustin versus the Society of Secrets. What do you guys think?
Society of Serpents.
No, it's the Society of Secrets. SOS.
It's the same thing, Society of Serpents, still SOS.
Yeah, I know, but Society of Secrets hasn't been done yet. At least not to my knowledge.
Society of Spiders.
I guess it's alright.
Okay.
For the name.
You always sound underwhelmed, but that's just how you sound. I realize that now.
I'm just chronically depressed.
The Society of Secrets.
How come I can't change my own things?
I don't know, Drish. Let me check. Can edit. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to edit them. It says here, Dr. Dries can edit.
Okay, 1 second then.
Like we can say events in the hunt for the killers of his mentor somehow takes him to. Wow, my brain's starting to deteriorate. Focus.
China.
In the hunt for the killers of his mentor.
Do we know they killed him?
Nah. In the search for who killed his mentor. There we go. For who killed his mentor. Wow. Let me just say. I can't find any good wording. Ah, crap.
And Ferdinand ended up in China.
The search for who killed his mentor takes Ferdinand to China. There we go. Takes Ferdinand to China, where he learns the secret arts of kung fu.
Where he learns the secret arts of ass kickery.
Yeah. But has to contend with the Society of Secrets who seek to do what? Help me out here, Profnum, it's your story.
Seek to keep the secrets about the centurions hidden and stuff.
Or who seek to make certain he meets the same fate as his mentor or something.
Yes, maybe.
No, that doesn't sound right. I mean, the general line of it is good, but I need to word it better.
Why don't you make them an anti-Centurion cult?
Yeah, yes,
thing,
but
whatever.
I mean, Richard, that's not the issue. I'm just trying to word it right.
Oh. Seeks to make all Centurions disappear.
No, the point was that they're mainly after Ferdinand for some reason.
Oh.
Or I just write down for now
Dispose of.
who want to make certain Ferdinand will never will never spread his mentor's knowledge or something. What do you think?
That works.
Okay. So there you go. During his studies, the Society of Secrets tries to kill him a couple of times, and he has to fight them. That's more or less the gist of it. Maybe we can throw some other adventures in there too. While he was there, maybe he traveled to Tibet at some point, some ancient temple he went to investigate. A lot of stuff he can do. So what aspects do we throw in there? Oh yeah, Kung Fu, obviously. Something relating to his Kung Fu skills, obviously.
Yes. Also, well-traveled could be something.
I like that. Well traveled is good. I'm gonna write that down. Well traveled. And second aspect, I either choose something relating to Kung Fu skills, but then again, you already have Spectacular Fighter that you could also use that for roles relating to fighting. So either Kung Fu or relating to Society of Secrets, in which case you'd actually have them as an official enemy, and you'd also be able to tag your enemy aspects for bonuses when you basically have to fight them, for instance. But it's up to you. We can still...
Something maybe that he knows too much, so he has powerful enemies.
Knows too much. Well, that already insinuates he has enemies, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, knows too much. Knows too much for his own good. There we go. What do you think, Dawa?
Yes, I like the second aspect. Knows too much for his own good. It reflects on his abilities as a scholar, and it also allows the clever DM to make him blurt out information that will either make him seem hostile to others, or opens up the gates of insanity to flood his mind because of Cthulhu.
And it insinuates he has enemies because he knows too much.
Actually, why not, instead of making it that big, he knows too much for his own good, just say the man who knew too little.
Why?
Because it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a reference,
movie,
I know.
The man who
Yeah,
knew too little.
but it could also be that riffing off his idea. It could also mean that the Ferdinand thinks that he knows too little and that he must keep moving, that he must keep getting more and more information.
But he's already insatiable.
This could happen. Or
Yeah, he already has that. That's his very first aspect, insatiable seeker of knowledge.
okay. But this the man who knew too little could be more like he's uncertain that he knows enough to make proper decisions.
Still think we need an aspect that relates to him having enemies.
Okay, the
By
man.
the way, one moment. I need to restart Hangout because Hangouts under Chrome is an incredible resource hog, and currently my system is now operating at maximum stress.
Okay,
So
Dawa.
I'm starting
Yeah.
to think you have a really old computer.
I don't, and on the Firefox it isn't a problem. It's just Chrome that makes it bubble
Dawa?
everything up. Yes.
Download the Opera browser and just use it.
I will
Can
try it out.
Okay.
We'll see you later then.
Ramsey,
I'll be back as
Yes?
soon as I can.
then why not just do The Man Who Knew Too Much?
That's also good. But let's let both of them decide because it's his character. Which aspect do you
Okay.
like best?
Well, at least I think something about knowing too much is a good thing. But
Yeah, it actually amounts to the same thing. It's just what you like the
Indeed.
sound of best.
um,
But we can always change it later, I guess.
uh,
Yeah. Actually, we shouldn't dwell too much on the little details. We can change these things later.
well, I think it's the man who knew too much.
Like that best?
Sounds better.
Okay. Writing it down. Or do it yourself. Since I see you on there. Okay, cool. Next up we have, I think, either Richard or Dries.
I'll go
Who wants to
next.
go? Okay, Richard.
All right. So William
Mm-hmm.
had just lost his father,
Mm-hmm.
and his father was crucial to the anti-occult warfare effort.
Mm-hmm.
But they all, armies also knew that William himself knew quite a bit about the occult and had studied under his father and studied hexes, and
Mhm.
so they recruited him and pulled him into it, and started making him go into his, take over where his father left off.
Ah.
Well, on his first actual solo mission, basically what happened is he found that what they were trying to do was they were trying to use a ritual of some kind to indoctrinate people, to
Mhm.
take over their minds and make them into mindless zombies.
Mhm.
Not zombies as in undead, just mindless zombies as in,
Mm-hmm.
basically brain dead stooges. And he had to find a way to stop this. Well, he began by trying to develop devices that would block the magic.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of developing devices that would block the magic, he developed a set of gauntlets that he could infuse with the power of different hexes to do different things. And these allowed him to see magical workings, like in the air. When magic is used, basically, it has a visual effect to those who are keen to it, who can sense it at a certain level of strength. But he wasn't at that level of strength. However, with his gauntlets, it allows him to see this magic. So he was not only able to see it, but he was able to counter it, because he also has, through his gauntlets, he has another ability basically to punch magic. And he can, reach out, grab it, and stop it in its tracks.